Hello Virgo, welcome to your reading for the end of the year 2021. So my dear Virgo, I've got a few cards on the table. We will shuffle and add more as I speak. This is an important reading, I believe, because I'm going to do a big reading for 2022, but I think it's really important to stop for a second and reflect on the last year, because there might be some important messages that you really want to sort of consider just at the moment before going with a new plan for the next year. And for a few reasons, lessons you've learned, things to celebrate, and really understanding how much you've grown, so you kind of come with a little bit of more awareness into the next year. And you know, when I'm looking at your card, it's just it's like blowing my mind away. Really strong reading. So much that you've experienced and so much that we will talk about. So look, let me start from the point where actually I'm going to start from this most beautiful card here, you know, what you need to be proud of. Look at that. You've got a beautiful card and energy of goddess. I think the pronunciation might be Maya, but don't really hold me to this, because I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's all about surrendering, right? And she's also in the sea, which means there is a huge emotional shift that took place for you, especially towards the end of the year. I feel like you were, for the very first time since a long time, we might be talking even years here, where you were able to surrender completely. I feel like Virgo, you know, you have sort of this beautiful, I say beautiful by the way, tendency to control things and control energies in an environment. And yes, sometimes that can be obsessive, but in many ways that shows how capable you are in terms of adapting or reacting and taking actions when the situations emerge. But what you really need to be proud of is that you did something a little bit opposite to your usual nature. And why you have to be proud of it? Because that trigger incredible change for you. That just embraced a completely different process for you, where you really grew into much more confident place, and you trigger a lot of changes, okay, with just that. So look, when I'm looking at the energy of this year, you've got 7 of Pentacles, and you know, with this one, it's some sort of like a place where you had to really embrace a failure at many stages and many levels, especially when it comes to one area of your life. And we have double threes here, 3 of Pentacles and 3 of Cups, which have a huge meaning, and I'll get to that in a moment. But let's talk about this failure thing here for a second, because let's be honest, Virgo, you're one of these signs that you don't fail most of the time. And it is because of what I've discussed here when it comes to controlling, because you are just so great at taking the worst situation and turning it into positive. And you are so great at predicting, you know, what's going to happen and really working things out in the best possible way. It's like this great superpower about you. But this year forced you to understand that sometimes we need to fail in order to actually win and gain something else. It's almost as coming to a place of weakness makes you stronger. And I feel like that is so fascinating about your reading, because it's not something you would normally do. But then you come out stronger, because you come back here as a Prince of Wands, and I'll come to that in a moment. But it's just, I'm kind of speechless, you know, because to accept failure in your relationship, in your job, in your career, in your family, in your friendship, and just surrender to that without fighting for it anymore, it's actually a great sign of courage. It's a great sign of perhaps self-awareness, and also a great sign of having hope that there is something actually different that you need to be doing, and maybe something different that you need to be embracing in your life. And you know, when I'm looking at one of the greatest lessons for you this year, which is a Three of Pentacles and also a beautiful medicine of Crow, you've seen a situation for what it really was around something or someone, and there is a dynamic, or there was a dynamic around you, potentially around your relationships or relationship, yes, and it could be your partner, but it also could be related to your career, which I will explain in a moment. So if it was a relationship, I feel like you've realized that there is just this third party energy, and you can't really be doing that anymore. And yes, this could mean literally that there was a person involved, but it also means that your mind was somewhere else, or this person's mind was somewhere else, and you knew that it would never be just two of you. You learn that this relationship would be always influenced by that third party energy. And this could be another partner, this could be somebody that you knew that you would always be daydreaming about, but this also could be energy from the family. So it could be like influential mother or father or something, you know. A third party energy obviously doesn't have to mean specific person, but could be, right? So you just need to kind of like translate that into your own circumstances from here. When it comes to situations outside relationship, this could be career thing, that you realize that you can't be committed fully to one business, one job, because your heart was pulling into a different direction, and you had to face that. You know, it just became unbearable. You try to keep it balanced, you try to keep it cool, you try to get through it, but the harder you've tried, the harder it become. And oh my God, this is what I'm just really feeling right now for you in terms of this lesson learned. The harder you try, the harder it became. There is something in it, and I really strong, and I feel very, very strong about that right now. So think about your situation from last year, and what was it that the harder you try, the harder it just became to sustain. So something around sustaining something. You know, with the Crow medicine, number 6 here, 24, but when you add up numbers, it's 6. It could be very much about love. And, you know, you have these kind of two symbols here, like a cloth and the stars behind, and I see that also a situation between two people that came out of balance. I also see you seeing your own reflection and seeing that you really can't be in this anymore, but also seeing your shadow and potentially the other person's shadows, and really accepting yourself for who you are and what you feel and what you need, and accepting the other person for who they are. It also was one of your greatest lessons. It's powerful reading, Virgo, actually. Really, really powerful. It's deep, I tell you that. It's really deep, and I'm trying to navigate through that in some sort of structure, but so much. And look, it's changing you. It's changing you because with the Prince of Wands, you're really coming to your power place. You are realizing, Virgo, that all you want is to move forward. You're not going to look back, and maybe you're going to look a little bit into a future, but you just want to move forward. That is your main primary goal now, is continue moving and being your own leader, being your own power, and enjoying yourself. That's what's one of the things that you've changed about yourself, or the way it changed you is that you want to be the best company for yourself. And yes, you might find you know, different people, different relationship, different career, different job. If you haven't yet, that's what probably is going to come to you in 2022. But I feel like you know, most of all, you just want to feel great with yourself, and in many ways you do. However, the advice here is that don't just let that feeling to overconsume you. I mean, it's great that you are in this place of power and confidence and feeling really charged and knowing that you're enough for yourself. But you also going to realize sometime soon, if you haven't yet, that you will need a strong partner in order to accelerate growth and that feeling of lucky. So it's almost, you can see those two wands here, that even though you can carry all the baggage yourself on your shoulders, you're still going to know or somehow realize that you want partnership, business or romantic, and you want equal partnership. You don't want codependency, but you also don't want to have a full independency. It's almost like you want a state in between where it's more about supporting each other and kind of being shoulder to shoulder rather than completely relying on each other. The other thing that I want to say to you as well here, right at the end of the year, that it's time to get to work, Virgo. It's, you know, you're being called into using that power, that strength of yours that you've come to just get things done. You have a lot still to complete by the end of the year, beginning of January. So just get to work, get things done, and do not procrastinate if you have that tendency. You really need to keep going, keep moving forward, okay? Just keep using that energy to get things done. All right. When I'm looking at what was holding you back and what you were ignoring, now this is quite interesting because you have the Empress as what was holding you back, and that's quite unusual actually. Oh, let me just see what just came out. 7 of Wands. I wonder whether there's something that you were trying to avoid, or maybe you didn't have enough confidence, or maybe it's like you were scared to come across too confident, maybe, actually. I don't know whether that was lack of confidence. I think it was more about not wanting to come across too powerful in whatever you're doing. It's like you tried to really not say too much, not show off too much, and not get too much attention perhaps. But I think that was holding you back, which means that's what exactly you needed to do. You needed to be visible, and you needed to be that point of attraction for everyone. So if there was a time during the year that you had this kind of moments of hiding and wanting to be quiet and perhaps not wanting to say too much, or just really be out there, learn from that, because that's exactly what you needed to do. And you know, with the Judgment card over here in a position of what you've been ignoring, I mean, again, with the Crow here and this card, you've had, you know, you had to make some tough calls, but you were also trying to avoid them for a big part. And again, maybe that's something that you can add to your lessons learned, because there was a moment last year where you didn't want to face your fears and insecurities, and yes, you were trying to avoid to see things for what they really are. I don't think you did it all the way through the year, because we obviously, when we saw what you did, you actually surrendered and accepted towards the end. But you did that quite late. That's what I'm feeling. You were ignoring it at the start, where you could have made certain decision earlier. And I'm not saying that to make you regret. I'm just saying that for the purpose of self-awareness and reflection, because obviously that is a huge fundament or foundations for your learning. So there is something obviously to take away from that reading about why you were in that avoidance, why you were trying to keep hidden from the world, why you were trying to keep quiet, why you didn't want to put yourself out there. What was it that you were really, really scared of? And if you still haven't got to this answer, that is a really great time to do that final reflection. 3 of Cups, you know, it's a moment to celebrate for you. It's really you coming back beautiful, full of joy, fun. You found that entertainment, creativity, joy. I feel like some of you reunited with your friends and you found friendships, and especially something to do with women. Again, you could be a man or a woman, but there is a strong friendship around feminine as well. And be proud of that, because despite of all that heaviness, that happened throughout the year, you found joy and you lived at least the last couple of months like nobody else actually this year. Like, you really knew how to have fun, and you embraced friendship, and you've embraced just pure joy in life, indulgence, and even indulgence of your own creative processes. Like, you've really embraced that. And that it keeps showing up for you from this beautiful energy of surrender, right? And this card is also about creativity, psychicness. Maybe you've opened to some sort of like abilities, clairvoyant, or some sort of channeling, right? Some of you might really embrace that side of you, that you really went deep with some practices as well, and you've improved, like you've really developed your skills. So well done for that. That is something to celebrate, Okay, let's add a couple of more cards, because I've promised you that I would be shuffling and adding more cards, but I feel like the one that I had on the table already provided so much to talk about. I didn't actually have a chance to put a lot. So let's just see. We have 5 of Pentacles, we have Ace of Swords, we have Prince of Swords, and finally we have Ace of Wands. Okay, this is wonderful. We have 2 aces, which is amazing. It's just confirmation that you really getting a sense of new opportunity, new beginning around your relationships. 5 of Pentacles confirming for me the energy of losing something, walking away, or being left in a cold, being maybe even betrayed. Either way, you definitely dealing with some losses still. But I feel like the energy of new opportunities and new beginnings are coming back. You're getting new information, you're becoming really strong. Prince of Swords is giving you some great clarity of what to do next. You want to learn, you want to experience. And good news for some of you, you may have somebody already in the picture that is bringing you a lot of passion. Maybe an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, but it doesn't have to be, right? But somebody that really brings a lot of chemistry and passion into your life. If that person hasn't turned up yet, well, be ready for early next year. This person is coming through, okay? So here is a little kind of teaser, almost like a little trailer probably, for what's coming up for you in the new year. So, my dear Virgo, I hope that you found this reading reflective and helpful, and perhaps hopeful too. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, or just simply comment below the video. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I will leave the details in the description box below, or on how to find me. And yeah, keep an eye on the reading for 2022. That will be a big one, and we will cover everything that you should be expecting in the next year. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sending you lots of love, Virgo. I absolutely love you, and I loved your reading, and I hope we will speak soon again. Bye.